Hi guys, so just wanted to talk about a very sucky feeling, which is loneliness. So I've been doing a bit of research around this topic and it's very interesting what I found out, and most of the research is basically in this book. It's called Lost Connections by that person, whoever it is, Johan Hari. It's a fucking amazing book. I found it at Kmart. It was like $20, not well, it was nothing. But yeah, it should be there in your local Kmart. Just go pick it up and read it. It's very interesting. It talks about multiple things, and loneliness is one of the topics there. So I just wanted to go a bit deeper than what is in that book. And what I've found out is there's four main reasons why, sorry, not depression, but loneliness is, well, four main reasons why there's loneliness. Oh wait, no, that's the wrong way to word it. Four main reasons why you would feel lonely. And to start off, the very first thing is disconnection from people in general. And this basically comes about when we barely spend time with other people. And if you think about it, we do spend a lot of time alone. And even for me personally, I spend a lot, literally a lot of time alone working on something. So I would say I am a bit disconnected from, well, social events and social activity, and I barely do anything social because I'm always working on something, and that's the case for a lot of people. We just do a lot of social activities. We'd rather spend time alone, either watching Netflix on your phone, doesn't matter what it is. We spend a lot of time alone, and we feel this massive disconnection from people, literally the people living around you, people living near you. And one of the things that I have noticed personally is I grew up in Sri Lanka, and we used to basically live with family. So I remember my aunt's house and my grandma's house was literally two houses away from where we lived. So we lived very closely. I never ever felt alone. I never felt disconnected from people. But when we came to Australia, it's a whole different feeling. We barely know our neighbors. We barely know the people who that live next to us. So it's just that a lot of people live near us, but we don't really know what they are like, who they are. We just so focused on ourselves. We're so inverse focused, and that's one of the main reasons that we do feel lonely. We barely talk to people anymore. We barely socialize, and especially in like Sri Lanka, we knew who our neighbors were. We spent time with them. We spent time with the kids living in our neighborhoods. We never felt this feeling of like this connection, feeling alone. But here in Australia, it's quite different. It's I would say it's very lonely out here compared to living in Sri Lanka because like I said, we barely socialize like we did back in Sri Lanka. So, and the second thing is we we are literally social animals, and we we we, we always so focus on what's going on social media. We so much we hella focus on what's new on YouTube, what new movies came out, whatever it is, whatever entertainment is. We are so focused on that we barely, stick our heads out, look around, and spend time with people. When I say time with people, I would say meaningful time with people, especially if you're like feeling alone. You know this feeling where you could be in a room full of people, but you still feel alone. And for us, we humans, we used to fucking hunt together. We used to cook together. Men used to go out fucking hunt. Women used to pick berries and, well, prepare meals. But now it's just so different. We've become more towards like the lone wolf kind of thing, where we just literally do everything on ourselves now, and that's that's one major factor that is driving loneliness. And when this happens, when that feeling of loneliness kicks in, what we do is we build meaningless relationships. That's probably why most of us, or a lot of us, end up on like dating sites, or we just spend time with people that doesn't add value. It's like that saying when we you don't go grocery shopping when you're hungry because you would pick out shit that doesn't suit you or that doesn't benefit you. No, yeah, that's a saying. So it's kind of the same thing. Like when we feel alone, we do something that's very easy, that like download dating apps and just try to meet people that way. But well, if you have used dating apps, you know what the feeling is like. It's shit. It's literally fucking shit. And it's just meaningless relationship after relationship, just talking, trying to get attention. That is, it just makes you feel more alone, more isolated. And the third thing I would have to say is that the third thing that's driving loneliness is disconnection from like-minded people. So as an individual, you probably have your own values, you have your personality, and a lot of people that you meet might not share those values. And there's this quote which goes, I'm just going to read that. It says, the rarer you are, the rarer the people that share your perspective. In this way, the greater your success, the fewer people you get to share it with. Loneliness is a kind of tax that you have to pay to atone for a certain complexity of mind. And this was said by Chris Williamson. He has this amazing podcast called Modern Wisdom. I highly recommend that. And that quote, it just fucking struck me because for me personally, I'm a person who has goals and I'm always working towards those goals. And for me, the payoff is my social life, and because I barely have one at this point. For me, I'm always working, I'm always doing something, chasing my goals, working, building something, whatever it is, I'm just doing something that's meaningful. And I have given up the social life part of it, and I barely meet people, and that's fine with me because I know that's just payoff that I gotta have to become, well, to reach my goals at least. And if you have these rare traits that people generally have, the chances that you meet like-minded people is very, very low. So you could spend time with a lot of people. Like, you've ever had that feeling where you could be literally in a room full of people you know, but you still feel alone? The main reason is that y they are not the people for you, in a sense that they don't share the values that you have, they don't share the same goals. And finding people that are on that same path that you are on is one of the main things that can help you not feel lonely or feel like that you have people around you. And there was this very interesting study that was done, where social scientists were asking people. It was conducted in America. So yeah, where they were asking U.S. citizens a very simple question, and that was, how many confidence do you have? So they wanted to know how many people that they can turn into in a moment of crisis, or even basically tell good news to. And by 2004, the common answer was zero. So people eventually, with time, they just started being even more disconnected from other people. So they had literally zero people to turn to in a moment of emergency, in a moment like where you wanted to celebrate, or something good happened at work, you wanted to tell someone. It was zero. They had no one to tell that stuff to, and that is fucking scary. And in a world connected, sorry, in a world that's more connected than ever, we all have social media. We all have Facebook, Instagram, whatever the fuck it is. We all have social media, but for me, I feel like it just disconnects people rather than connecting people. Like, a lot of, yeah, there are a lot of advantages to it, but the truth is, it just makes you feel more alone. It takes away from you. That's my personal experience from the use of social media. But yeah, that's one of the main reasons. And you also probably have friends or people that you hang out with that drain you, that where you feel, let's say you spend time with them, you just feel more alone. You just get that sucky feeling where it's like you feel depleted, or if you feel like you're drained, like you have to take time away from people to regain your social battery. And that is a real thing. I've felt that way. So if you have friends like that, it just adds on to your loneliness because you don't have people in your life that you value. and it is a sucky feeling, I'm not gonna lie. So you need to surround yourself with people that empower you, people that have your same goals, so even the same people that are on that same path as you. That's very important. And for men especially, this is another thing. I would have to say, I'm being, well, whatever the fuck it is. For men especially, we feel more alone than ever because females, women, they are a bit better. They are definitely better when compared to men at maintaining social relationships and being more social. Whereas guys, we suck at being social. Literally, we fucking suck. And for men especially, once again, this goes back to our tribal instincts. We used to go hunt together. We worked towards a common objective. We were literally, our job was to go put ourselves in dangerous situations and bring back food so that children and our wives could fucking survive. So we would collectively work on a common objective, and that is how we fucking bonded. That's how men bond, and it is still the same way, even though it's literally been millions of years. Is it millions of years? It's probably millions of years since our tribal days, and it's still the case because one of the main experiences that I've had is one of my friends from Melbourne just popped by and we were working on something together, and that was literally the best fucking work I've done, and I feel so much closer to him because we were working towards something which was hard, and we were working towards something, we're trying to achieve the same goal, and that was literally one of the times that I didn't feel alone, that I felt like, okay, I got people around me that care. And it's a beautiful fucking feeling when men get together, work on something that's hard. And this is a reason why a lot of people turn to video games. If you think about it, if you're playing any multiplayer game, let's say it's fucking Fortnite or some dumb shit or Call of Duty, it's like men or whoever plays the game, they play together and the common objective is to win the game. Especially like this is a main reason why multiplayer games took off. So men or boys who used to play video games together, they would work on something which is winning. They would work together to achieve that goal. That's why gaming is such a massive thing that little people, not little people, but kids do. Little people. But that is one of the reasons why video games are so addictive because it attacks that tribal part of our brain, and that's why literally all of these games like Fortnite, Call of Duty, whatever the fuck it is, it's so addictive because it fires at the tribal instinct. It fires at that tribal instinct where men work together to achieve a common goal. And that's probably why if you have played video games with your guy friends, that is a amazing bonding experience. And video games are, well, it doesn't give you anything meaningful because like what the fuck is achieving 100 kills gonna do for you? It's nothing. It's a virtual world. But if you find people who are on that same path as you, find a common objective, work together, I swear to God, you would never feel lonely a day. You would never ever feel lonely again because it's just different when like guys come together, work on something collectively, and that is one key to feeling lonely. And this is something that came out of, well, this book, and I will go through this carefully. So there was this scientist named John. Sorry, what was his name? Let me just. I'm bad with names, man. His name was, yeah, John something. John Kakiopo. Fuck, I butchered that name. But um, throughout his study, he discovered one thing. Being lonely and being alone are two different things. Because if you think about it, you could be surrounded by people if you go to a city or if you, well, go on a night out. You would be surrounded by people, but you would still feel alone. And that feeling of loneliness, where you feel alone, not be alone, It's two different things. If you feel alone, that's loneliness, unfortunately. You can try to dress it up any way you want to, but that is feeling lonely. And you could be surrounded with people, you could have a million people around you, but you would still feel lonely. And the reason for this is you would feel lonely because you feel like nobody around you cares about you, neither do you care about them, and you aren't sharing joy or distress, you aren't working towards anything to meaningful, you're not working towards an objective together. And the truth is, you don't care about those people around you, and neither do they care about you. So you would still feel lonely, even in a crowded room, even in a room full of million people. You would still get that feeling. And the only way to end loneliness is that you need people, and you also need something else. And you need to feel like you are sharing something that is meaningful with them. You need to be on the same level in a certain way where you share your values, you guys have shared values, you both have meaningful relationships with each other, not just small talk. That's one of the main reasons. Where if you have a friendship which is just purely based on small talk, it's not gonna serve you well, because if especially if you're like a person who feels lonely, that's not gonna change anything, because you would still feel alone, you would still feel like they don't care for you, you still feel like, there's no one there for you. And I've been there, man. It sucks. It's a sucky feeling. But the truth is, you need to bond over something that you both value, and just build up upon that. The only way to feel, not alone, or to overcome loneliness, is to have a group of friends or a group of people around you that care for you, that you share values with. And you need to value them. You need to value them, and they need to basically give the same energy back. And I would like to conclude this video with a quite obvious conclusion, and that is, loneliness isn't the absence of people around you, it's the absence of people that you value around you, people that you care for, people that care for you, people that you want to spend time with, people that basically you would go to war with, literally. If you're a man, that it would make sense to you, because you wouldn't go to war with anyone. You need people that have your back, that cares for you, that would be there for you no matter what. And once you have all this relationship in place, you wouldn't feel alone anymore. And it is a sucky feeling. It will take you time to figure out what you value in people, what others would value in you, and most of those questions, all of those answers lie within you. So you gotta have those confrontational conversations with yourself. You gotta challenge yourself, challenge your beliefs, and find out the value within yourself. Try to find that value in other people as well. And once you have both of these in place, you'll find people that you want to spend time with. And once you have them, you basically will not feel alone anymore. And yeah, I will leave it there. Hope this helped. I'm very curious about these topics, so I would literally go down a rabbit hole, but I also don't want to drag it out. So yeah, hope you have a good one, and yeah, goodbye.